more qualified than Hillary Clinton to serve as president of the United States of America.
People calling it, Republicans calling President Obama's speech Reagan-esque last night at the Democratic Convention. Aaron Katersky was right there watching the whole thing. Good morning, Aaron.
In some ways, a speech Republicans might have given, because President Obama said there's nothing particularly Republican or conservative about the authoritarian notions of Donald Trump. He said Americans don't need to be ruled, and he said that Donald Trump was a homegrown demagogue.
Yeah, reaction from Democrats obviously loved it, but the Republicans, some of the ones I talk to, friends of mine, were lamenting the fact that there was not a speech like that, like those uplifting speeches from the Republican convention last week.
There certainly a difference in tone here from Cleveland now here to Philadelphia, and the Democrats seem determined to try and use uplift to take down Donald Trump. They have also, of course, skewered him plenty. Former Mayor Mike Bloomberg called him a con and said, God help us if he wants to run the country like he runs his business, invoking Trump's history of lawsuits and bankruptcies. Vice President Biden said that the times are too uncertain to elect the candidate who has no national security experience and no clue, Biden said, about anything.
Yeah. How much of a surprise was it that Hillary Clinton appeared at the end of the night?
I'm not sure it was a surprise. These two need each other, and when Hillary Clinton walked onto the blue-carpeted stage here in Philadelphia to embrace President Obama, she was doing more than saying thank you. She was making clear that she is the one to carry on the policies of President Obama. It's a delicate balance, of course, because she knows that people don't necessarily want a third Obama term, so she's been trying to make subtle instances of distinction. But President Obama needs Hillary Clinton to cement his legacy, and so he made a forceful appeal for her candidacy, even speaking to those in the hall, those Bernie Sanders supporters who are not yet sold. He said you cannot afford to stay home just because she doesn't align with you on every issue.
Aaron Katersky, you've covered both conventions, and from where I'm sitting, it seems like Republicans were trying to defend their base, whereas Democrats were on the offense. Tim Kaine mentioning that his dad, his father-in-law, was a Republican governor. You have Obama quoting Ronald Reagan in last night's speech. It seems like they're going after Republicans, and Republicans were trying to defend themselves.
They were no question going after Republicans and independents. It was especially a moment for Mike Bloomberg, who's now an independent and a former Republican, to make the case for Hillary Clinton, not because you agree with her out of party loyalty, but out of love of country. A very different kind of appeal than we've heard not only at this convention, but the other one. And so Democrats, as they fight to unite in their own party, are looking beyond it to try and build support for Clinton.
Donald Trump, of course, was in the news yesterday after the quite interesting news conference where he was calling on Vladimir Putin to sort of hack into Hillary's emails. Were any changes made to the convention because of that news conference from yesterday?
I think it came up a bit in speeches that perhaps hadn't planned on it, and the most powerful was former Defense Secretary and former CIA Director Leon Panetta, who tried to cast Donald Trump as unfit to be commander-in-chief. But one wonders if this wasn't some kind of manipulative masterstroke by Donald Trump, saying something outlandish, knowing the usual rules of political physics don't necessarily apply to him. He says something that he knew would get attention to distract from what was going on here in Philadelphia. Although by the time the night rolled around, I think people had forgotten the specifics of what Trump said. It did serve to be some extra fodder, though, for the Democrats looking to attack him.
Aaron, I got 30 seconds. Leon Panetta was booed, which I thought was quite a strange person to boo.
Yeah, it was a love not war crowd that was chanting the peaceniks in the room, and Leon Panetta sort of said blame ISIS or some such, but he doesn't want Hillary Clinton to be seen as weak on national security. They've tried to make a case for her strength.
Interesting. Aaron Katersky, great job as always. We'll talk to you again tomorrow to wrap things up.
Thanks, McGraw.
6:57 here, Big 550.